a film like Pippa is like my baby, and it takes 9 months for a baby to come out.
Yeah.
Correct? There are few films which doesn't require that much attention.
Of course, emotionally, it's extremely draining to wait, especially when there's a lot of pressure. And our business is one where someone said very interestingly, we have to have a very thick skin when it comes to the business side of it. And as artists, we have to have very thin skins or we can't be good artists.
There have been conversations around that say that you look too young for the part to play a military man.
It's probably a first time age appropriate casting in a big scale.
Do you know
army
how
film.
old Balram sir was when he fought?
26, which was exactly the age I was when I shot it. But for the army guys, it's very interesting. It was the first meeting he had with him. I believe, they said that, all this is great, script sounds good, but, you guys cast 40-year-olds and 45-year-olds as captains and majors, and, that just means they're very bad army officers.
Maybe the Bollywood is not giving you that much sense of exploration in terms of the kind of South that is giving you.
I know I have to prove, and it's good when you earn it. And that gives me a motivation to perform better. Like, I started my career with literally 4 to 5 scenes, and here I am today.
The first few years were very important for me because it was very important for me that I have my own identity as an artist. And I didn't want to be the shadow of anyone or anything.
As the saying goes, sabr ka phal meetha hota hai, and I think that is gonna come true on 10th of November because Pipa comes on Amazon Prime, and I have to say the film has had its fair share of waiting, but I'm sure the final product is gonna blow us all away. And right now I'm joined by the fantastic team of the film, and join me as I welcome them for a chat only on Bollywood Bubble. So firstly, welcome all of you.
Thank you.
Very excited I am, firstly because I love Mrunal, and it's my second conversation with you, and
Yes.
it has always been a pleasure. And as I said to Ishaan right now, that I have fought for this because I really wanted to have this first chat with you. And sir, like your work speaks for itself. So
Thank you, sir.
a little for all of you that I wanted to say before I begin. I have to start with you, sir. You are the captain of the ship, and as I said, the film has had its fair share of waiting. Through all of that, I feel somewhere the film also talks about perseverance. It's about patience. It's about waiting for the right time, because it's about war.
Yes.
Even if we have not seen the film, that is something, a concept we all can relate to. For you, how was that kind of relating that what's going on screen and also going in the real life, the waiting part?
I think the beauty of it is, in the end, when the film's coming out, all I can remember is all the great times. And so for me, that's the most important emotion that makes it all worth it. And I think there's good and bad. I'm a kind of silver lining guy. I like to look at the positive side of things. And I think the waiting allowed us to fine tune a lot of things slowly and get them right. And we got a lot of time to make sure that we made the film that we believe is the best film to put out there. So those are the advantages. Of course, emotionally, it's extremely draining to wait, especially when there's a lot of pressure. And our business is one where someone said very interestingly, we have to have a very thick skin when it comes to the business side of it. And as artists, we have to have very thin skins or we can't be good artists, which makes us extremely confused, insecure people. So
And
that's scary.
At least you are still
Nobody
involved
knows
in
that.
that process.
True.
But
Yeah.
I must say, like Mrunal, for you as an artist, as an actor, like you don't have the control of the process of when the film releases.
Yeah.
You just have to do your work. After that, you are not involved in the release plan per se.
Yeah, those decisions, right.
And you have had 2 such releases in the span of 1 week. Both had to wait. And both have had that kind of, I'm sure there would have been that nervousness, there would have been a little bit of anxiety of the release plan. How did you deal with that period? Because both the films had to face that.
See, the thing is, a film like Pippa is like my baby, and it takes 9 months for a baby to come out.
Yeah.
Correct? There are few films which doesn't require that much attention because they are simple films. Pippa, there's a lot of work, VFX, and they shot at like multiple locations as well. Like I was a part of the first sketch, but the second and third, they were like really tough ones, and Ishaan and Priyanshu, they all were part of it. And so it's a film's journey sometimes. Talking about the releases, yes, it's not in my hand, it's not in my control. I want to do as much as I can when it comes to promotions. And I'm making sure that I'm there because when I signed the film, I believed in it. And I'm so proud of all the films that I've been a part of till today. I believed in the character, I believed in the story, and I'm sure the wait is going to be worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure of that, and the wait is gonna be worth it multiple times because
However,
you are having so many.
However, I want to address this portion that there are times where, as an actor, we only like perform and we do what we have to. This release and it's what is nice is it's coming out during Diwali, and I want to watch a really nice film during Diwali because I'm going to be home with my family, and I think Pipa is coming at the right time. 10th November it is. We're getting like a solo nice release on Amazon, and it's going to be screened in one click, 240 countries and its territories. I mean, as an actor, what else do you want? I just don't have fans in India, I have fans all over the world.
True.
I had to own that up, you know.
And after last conversation, I feel for your family, the biggest, happiest thing for this Diwali is that you are home. With a busy schedule, you being at home is like the biggest blessing.
No, my home is in Hyderabad and they're flying there.
Oh, see, again, but at least you guys are all together,
Yeah.
and I love that you're having so many releases together.
Thank
because as an ardent follower of what you do,
I want to entertain my audience as much as I can.
and that we are getting to see. And Ishaan, I have to say one thing that I saw the trailer. Now I feel somewhere you fit the part perfectly, but there have been conversations around that say that you look too young for the part to play a military man, and that is something I feel a parallel I will draw is with Alia, that was said when she did Gangubai. People said that she looks too young for the part, but when the film came, it proved them all wrong. Do you think that's gonna do with Pipa as well for you?
Well, I mean, I would take that as a compliment because I thought she was wonderful in the film, and everybody knows that she is a trailblazer of an actress, and I think that comes with doing something new and seeing something new. So the one I wouldn't want to make any promises. I know it's a big responsibility to take on a part like this. I'm very aware of that. We put in the work. We put in a lot of work. It's probably a first time age appropriate casting in a big scale.
Do you know
army
how
film.
old Balram sir was when he fought?
26, which was exactly the age I was when I shot it. So actually the army guy is very interesting because we have an image which is screen age, which is totally a thing. It's a concept. You work, our leading actors work very hard over years to build an equity and build a persona on screen and get that connection with the audiences. But for the army guys, it's very interesting because the first meeting he had with him, I believe, they said that, all this is great, script sounds good, but, you guys cast 40-year-olds and 45-year-olds as captains and majors, and, that just means they're very bad army officers if they've not moved past the rank, right?
He said, if at 40 you're still a captain, you're a really bad captain.
So, I mean, it's actually interesting because it's correct from their perspective, and they were happy, I think, to hear.
Very.
Having said that, it's a big responsibility. You have to own that, and there is a certain feeling, I think, एक एहसास है जो लोग that people relate to a film like this, a patriotic film, a film that makes you feel inspired and makes you feel the gravity of what's going on. We put in the work, and I think the substance of the character shines strongly. I think it's a beautiful character. And one of the beautiful things about this film, जो नई भी है, वो ये है कि there's a coming of age story inside, that is weaved into a war drama. And like he, very beautifully mentioned, it's the coming of age of a nation that runs parallel to the coming of age of our protagonist. And I think that's the new thing in the film, So you see a young soldier who's very spirited, who wants to go to war, and he just wants to prove himself, and he just wants to be a part of that, and he knows that he's very good, and he knows his stuff, and he's well trained, and he's academic and all of that. Balram Singh was also a very academic officer, जो हमारे Brigadier Balram Singh Mehta हैं, जो तब acting captain थे. He's a very academic officer. He's a very, very astute technical officer. But only when you go into this experience and you experience war for the first time and you see that first sense of loss you feel is when you realize the real cost of war. And that feeling, I think, was very beautiful in this film, which hopefully will reach the audiences as well.
And I must say it's a very, as a viewer I'll say this, that it's a very refreshing change to see, because somewhere we had a kind of stereotyped that kind of image of an army man. It has to be that rugged, as you said, the 40-45-year-olds, the rugged men, and they have to be in a certain way, a certain build. It's a refreshing change to see someone new coming. It gives a fresher perspective. It gives a fresher age bracket and the age appropriateness that you said. But as she said, na, she has fans globally. You have projects also globally. So you are working outside, you are working here. And in the beginning of your career, and I feel people here have this kind of idea that you have to stay in the limelight and stay relevant and do projects here to be recognized for it. But you are kind of juggling between the international projects and here. Does it ever get difficult kind of doing that, and does it the voices ever get to you who kind of push you towards do more Bollywood or do more Hindi projects? And
no, the more inspiring thing for me, and I'd like to use the word inspiration and not pressure, is what she said, that I feel that ticking clock, that I want to put as much work out there to entertain my audiences as I can. That feeling is there, and that I've been feeling more and more. The first few years were very important for me because it was very important for me that I have my own identity as an artist. And I didn't want to be the shadow of anyone or anything, and I didn't want to make decisions because others felt I should do something. Now that I've done some work, at least I know that I am aware who I am as an artist. And now I have the confidence that I want to do more work, because I ultimately will not have complete control over anything as an actor unless I decide to produce something. Even then I won't have ultimate control, right? It's a collaborative process and it's a collaborative medium. And so it's more important to take the step than wonder about whether I'm taking the right step or not. And that I'm feeling more and more, for sure. As far as doing varied projects internationally, like you mentioned, I am lucky I have the opportunity, man. I mean, I know a lot of people would love to do that. I know a lot of people would love to have that kind of opportunity, and somehow it's found me. Every project that I've done internationally I auditioned for, and I've been very lucky that it came to me and it fell in my lap, and they chose me. And I'm actually very happy with the choices. I'm very happy with the experiences that I've had so far. I'm very happy about Perfect Couple, which will be coming out next year, because it's a good part. It's a deviation from the kind of roles that I've been picking, but it's a strong part, and it's a new, fresh kind of character to see a South Asian or Indian actor in. Wow. And I think that from a representation point of view is very exciting. It's exciting. Like I would love to see an Indian actor in a part like that. I'd be like, hey, that's cool, man. He did that. Like, So, yeah, I'm happy to have the opportunity, and I'll always put my best foot forward and hopefully learn from every experience, feed the other one.
You are getting to work with Nicole Kidman. What else one can ask for?
Exactly.
You have that.
ये सारी बातें तो बातें हैं. You're working with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. I have to say, as a viewer, my first, the first thing I saw was Nicole Kidman, Ishaan Khatter. Okay,
of course.
That is there.
She's an icon, of course. Like, and much like I would like to also say, she's an icon and she is incredible and just such a star. But I also had the good pleasure of working with Tabu, who I think is, for me, I was as much of a fanboy when I was working with Tabu. Having said that, every time you step onto a set with any of these names that you've taken, you're doing your work. And at least I've had that experience that, and I'm glad I've had it that way, that I don't feel, I don't get starstruck when I'm working.
Yeah, when the camera switches on, you're not that.
I don't think I generally am a starstruck kind of person, because I think I was lucky to see closely that there is always a human behind the star, and that's more interesting to me. But of course you have all that love and adulation. But yeah, I would say the same for Tabu, and I would say, so many nice and beautiful words for the lovely lady sitting next to me, because on Pippa I had the best time working with Mrunal, and it constantly feels like I didn't have enough scenes with her. And we didn't. And I hope that we get to carry that
Will
story
soon.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Mrunal, did you ever think that the first film you will do with Ishaan, it would be as siblings and not as love interest? I know it's a great graph, it's a great
I don't-
camaraderie, but the chemistry between you two would be sparkling.
I don't
what,
think
We left
that's
that
what
for
I'm
next
saying.
film.
I-
I don't.
I-
It doesn't matter. You know what matters to me is that we both be a part of good film. We do incredible scenes, and we had such lovely scenes. When I would like when we were sitting with Sir and doing the workshops, and we instantly had that bond. And I know tomorrow there will be such fantastic scripts where I will get a chance to even romance him. I mean, why not? He's such a fantastic actor. I really want to work with him again. So, filmmakers,
Yeah, and that it will happen because we have seen people like Priyanka and Ranveer have that kind of same thing.
Yeah.
They have played siblings and they have also played the
In
love
Bajil,
interest and
yeah.
it is there.
It's
But
been happening since forever. Yeah.
Forever. Even
I mean,
Shah
that's
Rukh
the
sir and
job.
Aishwarya.
I'm to giving this
Yeah.
generation ka example. But
I think these things just exist in people's head. I'm not thinking about it. I'm only thinking about how beautiful is my role and how beautiful is the story and how my character would elevate and add to that story. And I'm just incredibly blessed to have such incredible actors who speak through their eyes, you know, and like be it Priyanshu, be it Ishaan, be it Soni ma'am, Soham, I have learned so much from them. When I was on sets, I was just like, I was a lost puppy. There were times where I just didn't know, even my pronunciations weren't that great that point of time, but I would sit down with these boys and I would ask them, how do I pronounce this particular word? So they've helped me a lot, and I really want to share my screen with Ishaan, with Priyanshu, Soni ma'am, and Soham.
yeah, it's always.
I hate that we didn't have many scenes, but whatever we did, they are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Like, we're sharing something in one of the scenes. We're sitting on the bike, which you must watch and remember when I told you this. We've had it was such a beautiful night where we shot,
One
and
that
we
you've
really
seen.
felt
Yeah.
it. And that's what is more important.
And when I'm talking to you, Mrunal, like I have always say this, and I will always, the mention of Sitaramam has to come whenever I'm talking to you, because I think that movie kind of changed a lot of perspectives towards you, and especially mine, because I was always an admirer of you, but that film kind of changed in a very better and a very larger way things. And when I see you today, you are doing Hi Nana, then you are doing a film with Vijay. The South, that has the kind of exploration and the kind of exposure that industry is giving you, it fills me with pride. But somewhere, do you feel a sense of maybe the Bollywood is not giving you that much sense of exploration in terms of the kind of South that is giving you?
We also have Pooja Meri Jaan releasing this year, Pipa releasing this year. So there is nothing like that in my mind. I'm just exploring different. I love speaking different languages. I am a Maharashtrian. I speak Marathi, Hindi, little bit of broken Malayalam, now Telugu. I just want to explore. And ऐसा नहीं है कि यहाँ पे ज़्यादा प्यार मिल रहा है तो मैं यहाँ पे काम करूँ या यहाँ पे कम प्यार मिल रहा है तो यहाँ पे मैं काम ना करूँ. नहीं, it's about the story. What made me choose Sita Ramu? Because the story was so beautiful. And I think as an actor, I don't want language to be my barrier. And also, when I began as an actor, there is a ladder that I have to climb. I can't just instantly go and ask filmmaker to give me, you know, a very important part or the leading lady or, you know, someone who's carrying the film on their shoulder. I know I have to prove, and it's good when you earn it. And you know, that gives me a motivation to perform better. Like, I started my career with literally 4 to 5 scenes, and here I am today. I like, because sometimes वो कहता है ना कि suddenly अगर आपको कुछ मिल जाता है, you don't value it. I think I value my journey, and I'm blessed that all these filmmakers have showed immense faith in me to give such lovely roles, and they're all strong roles. Okay, when they come to me and they pitch me the role, they're like, this is what we want. We want you to be that progressive girl in the 1970s who's riding a bike and who's proved she's got a point to prove, and she's contributing not in the family. to the country, to the nation, and to what extent, which you'll figure out in the film.
Yeah, there's a lot more to
Yeah,
the
I'm
film
sure there's gonna be a
in that
lot
sense, yeah.
more.
So I just want to say that, guys, just hold on. There is Pooja Meri
lot.
Jaan also coming. There are 2 more other releases, which I can't talk about. So there's nothing like South and North, and I just feel like I believe in the stories. I believe in the characters I play. That's
I
it.
think the graph that you are showing is extremely inspirational, and it's as a follower of
Dhanyavad,
your
Alu.
work, I must-
Thank you.
Thank you so much. But
Shukriya.
before I wrap up, Ishaan, I have to say the answer that you gave the last now. One thing that struck out and I was really impressed is that you said that your first dilemma was of creating your own identity. Because you did not want to be
wasn't a
shadow.
dilemma.
Sorry, the
It was-
pressure.
It
there's
was
no
not.
pressure.
It was not pressure or dilemma. But when you take your first steps into anything, I think for me, what I do is not just merely a job or a profession. It's a life that I've chosen, and the choice came after I realized that, oh, this is me. This is what I really want to do. Because I think I grew up in an atmosphere where I was cultivated into the arts, but for me it was more important that this is my choice, and it's not just because I don't want to do anything half-heartedly. I don't want to do anything that I won't, because you can choose to do something, it won't sustain, especially in a profession like this, if you don't really love it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, man, I mean, you guys see it, you guys see what we do from the wings, and it mostly paints a very pretty picture, but it takes a lot, it takes a lot just to make one film, let alone make a good film, and make everyone sets out to make a good film, and it zaps you of energy if it doesn't give you that energy back, So if you don't love this, I don't think you can survive in this thing. And so for me, it was very important to know that I am doing this for the right reasons. I knew that inside me, but it was very important to know that I have that acceptance. And when I had that from my first film, and when I got a very beautiful opportunity, sacred opportunity to do a film like Beyond the Clouds and follow it up with Dhadak, which was, a big, beautiful, mainstream bonanza. But both those films had a substance and had something that I could say through them. That first step for me reassured me that, okay, all is good. Now have the courage and have the faith and back yourself, and
That's what I
Sina
was getting.
taan ke,
That's what I was getting at, that your choices have actually defined you. Your choices have actually defined
For everyone.
That's what we all do,
It's
right?
true to
I'm sure it
everyone.
must have been the same experience for you as well.
Exactly. But because you had the kind of people expecting you to do commercial mainly, but you kind of defied that by choosing and maintaining a balance between your choices, and that balance has been inspirational for any person who's coming into the industry.
he's
And I'm
my
not talking about
inspiration for
person from
sure.
the industry,
Yeah.
and I'm talking for anyone who's coming from beyond as well. So that is what I was getting at, and
Thank you
kudos
for
to
saying
you for making those choices, because they have been very artistic, they have been true to the craft, and they have been inspiring. I've used the word a lot this for you because it actually has been, and that's how I followed all of your graphs per se, especially you and you. Thank you so much for this
Thank you,
conversation.
Akash.
It has been a pleasure talking to all of you, and I'm sure I could have gone on and on talking
Yeah.
about to you guys about films, because I think that's a common connection between all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing a film like this, and I'm sure the Diwali is going to be much more brighter because of all of you.
Yeah, on a closing note, I'd just love to say that, it's very encouraging to hear these conversations about the work and about the craft and all of those things.
Choices.
I don't claim to say that I know everything about the craft. We just try to be true to ourselves. It's very rare you get an experience and an opportunity where you come out feeling enriched. And I want to thank Raja sir that he gave us this film, and that we shared such a beautiful and pure process of making this film.
Yeah.
Now, how people take this film, they'll make it their own. That's going to be a separate conversation. But I know that we put our heart and soul into it, and our blood and sweat, and we did it with sincerity. And that always comes top down.
Yeah.
And so, that I would have to credit to Raja sir for being the captain of the ship, and giving us that that courage and that slap on the back and saying, and go trust your instincts and follow your instincts and work sincerely. So thank you for that.
Thanks.
And
Thank you.
I'm very excited for 10th of November. Pippa comes out on Prime Video, even not just for myself, but for this entire beautiful team that made this film. It was a lot of really wonderful people put a lot of hard work into making it.
And really excited to watch you all. And Mrunal, always love you. And thank you so much, Ishaan, for this opportunity. Thank you, Raja.
Thank
A little bit of that love. There was excess, so I could do it.
Hope you guys had a good time.
You
We did. Lovely.
Enjoyed it very
Thank you.
much.
We had a
Thank you,
great
sir.
time.
Thank
Thank you.